Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another stream. And hold on, let me get my webcam working real quick. Hopefully it'll get working. Okay, there we go. But yeah, welcome back to our stream. And we're gonna be talking about Erin again today. Which, as of current, Erin is a Category 2 hurricane. Erin's also been dealing with some dry air and some wind shear. Which last night Erin was at Category 4, and then went back to it, and then went down to a 3. And as I mentioned earlier, Erin is now back to being a Category 2. And we also now have, let me get up the outlook real quick on here. We have two areas now, two areas now for tropical waves. For like the next systems we're going to be watching for in terms of a tropical storm or a tropical depression. And I'll get up the ensembles in a second here. And also just like hurricane models, so we could take a look at what hurricane models are be kind of looking at for Hurricane Erin. Alright, so let me go over to that real quick. Let's see if it goes to the right thing. Oh yeah, okay, there you go. Alright, so here we got the hold on, because my mic's being loud again for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, here is basically the shear that is within the Atlantic, and as you can see, you can actually see where I think that's our next wave there, I think. But you can see where Hurricane Erin is at. This backside here, you have a bunch of wind shear, which is affecting the backside of this, and then you also got shear, a lot of shear from the jet stream itself, just to the north of that. And then here's Cyclonic WX, and let me turn down my gain a little bit. Alright, so here's also the track of Hurricane Erin as well. And as you can kind of see, Erin had like started from here, then went up north, and then kind of wobbled down and wobbled back up, and then kind of had a bit of a wobble here, and it's been has been wobbling to the northwest now. But Erin has had a lot of west shifting as well, which is also why the if we go over to the National Hurricane Center, the reason why the cone looks like this as well. And between tomorrow and Thursday, Erin is going to be having impacts along the west coast of the U.S. when it comes to storm surge, specifically with North Carolina, where they have storm surge warnings out there right now. Well, you can see the yellow and blues. That's your tropical storm watches and warnings. We'll take a look at the rainfall potential outside of this as well, which a lot of the rainfall will stay outside of any land, which, I mean, it's still a lot of rain either way. And then here's the storm surge forecast, what the National Hurricane Center put out there. So from the South Santee River all the way up to like Cape Lookout, got 1 to 3 feet of storm surge possible. Neuse and Bay Rivers, Pamlico, and Pungo Rivers 1 to 3 feet as well. And you got from Duck to Cape Lookout with 2 to 4 feet of storm surge, and Duck to Paramore Island with also 1 to 3 feet of storm surge as well. Hold on 1 second. Sinus is absolutely killing me this morning. I don't know if you could tell, but also from yesterday with watching all the flooding back over near my house, I was like, holy man. Like literally the back over here flooded over here where I'm at. I'm like, man, I've seen it. I've seen that pond flood multiple times before, but with the amount of just, excuse me, but with just the sheer amount of rain that we've been getting for a while, it's just, it's like, I guess it was bound to happen either way. Drought is definitely not gonna be an issue, that's for sure. But anyways, so here is the ensemble, which this is 00Z. Which one is 06Z? Let's see how much 06Z is loaded in. Which 06Z right now with the tropical wave here has, I mean, a lot of the ensemble are showing a basically similar situation with this tropical wave going out of the sea as well. This tropical wave over here has not really shown a whole lot. Probably we'll see something more once we get more development out of this right here. And then we'll go over to the GFS, which the 06Z. Actually, I think we are on a 00Z. Let's actually see the differences between the two real quick. Which, I mean, 00Z and 06Z are very similar. They are very similar. And then we'll go over to the recon, which I'm kind of curious if we got anybody out there right now, which I think we have the Air Force plane out there right now. Which was for the last advisory update, which was not too long ago. With the Category 2, with Erin being a Category 2. I'm kind of curious if I can find any cameras to use at all. But yeah, anyways, we'll go back over to the satellite real quick. And as you can kind of see, this is what Erin looks like on the long wave infrared. If we go to visible though, you can see, it's almost kind of the same as the long wave, but you're gonna see almost looks like a snail shell almost, I will say. Actually, I don't know if you would call it a snail shell, but it's quite the shape for a snail shell. Let's get get the loop going while we're at it. Which the mesoscale 1, oh wait, there we go. I was like, why is the mesoscale 1 was over here earlier? I don't know why it keeps shifting every like 2 seconds, but yeah. I need to get some water real quick. Alright. Got some water. Also, I'm gonna take a look at the visor itself because I haven't taken a look at that yet. Let's see. Erin is a large hurricane. Hurricane force winds extend outward up to 80 miles, and tropical storm force winds extend to 205. So as Erin's getting much larger, that wind field is getting bigger as well. I mean, you can kind of see how big Erin is just from the satellite image as well. Oh, I'm going to switch over to this one here so we don't have to see it like shifting from over here and then back over here 20 million times. Zoom in a little bit here. You can see Storm Surge Watch and then Tropical Storm Watch there. I have a feeling that is completely off with a what the tropical or not tropical storm watch, the storm surge watch, because there should be a storm surge warning popping up on here. I don't know why it's not popping up. Oh yeah, there is. It's blue. What if I actually turn off this and this? Yeah, it's just not popped. It's literally just not popping on here. So we'll go over to weather-wise, I guess. Let's see if I can actually find a thing I need. That's not it either. There we go. Alright, there we go. Let's see. I can see just a lot of tropical storm warnings out here too. There's the tropical storm warning, and if I click somewhere, I should be able to see the storm surge. Actually, where's the tropical stuff on here? Oh, there. Settings. Tropical. Want to turn off that. Actually, let me turn off the tropical storm warnings real quick. And then, there we go. So there's your storm surge warnings along the coast there. It goes from like here all the way down to see where it goes to, because he also got high surf advisories too. All right, so it looks like it goes to all the way down here. Looks like there's just so much overlapping. I had to just like turn off some stuff. I could turn off the typhoon stuff because we don't have any typhoons out there. Also, some I don't think that's from Erin with these, but there are some showers and storms off the coast. It looks like. Why did that go to Central America there when I clicked on that? As quite something. Alright, so on here you have like a black and white image compared to a like visible. Yeah, we'll go back again over to Radar Omega. Since we took a look at that. I do wonder what I could involve maybe on 12Z for the models. Which, comparing to 12Z or, well, actually no, there's the 06Z, so 12Z hasn't started yet for the Hurricane models, apparently. Which, comparing the models to what's actually going on, I mean, once we see 12Z come on in, we'll probably get something a little bit more closer and accurate, but the Hurricane models have this a little bit stronger than what's where it's currently at. Well, where currently Erin is at. I am kind of curious as well to see where those tropical waves are. So with a one tropical wave, it'd be right here, actually somewhere in that cluster there, and then the other one would be right here. So it's definitely, I mean, either way, it's been pretty active so far when it comes to the uh, tropical tropical season and the MDR. Apparently on Weather Nerds, the Google DeepMind tracks are on, apparently. I did not know that. Because Google now has a thing for, hurricanes now. Which I never even knew that they, well, I knew that they had it. I didn't know they had it on Weather Nerd's site, though. It's, looking between the Euro and then, Google. I mean, let me show you guys this real quick. Alright. So here is the Euro. And then you compare it over to the GDM FNV3. And definitely the Google's one is showing a lot stronger than, I mean, some of the ensembles on the Euro. Or even a GFS too. Because the GFS is more like this compared to the Euro. And this is 00Z, so. And then here is the GENC here, which surprisingly it's the Google's like ensemble. It's not picking up what's going on over here. It's interesting how that works. But yeah, Euro and GFS. GFS has more signals. It actually has a couple of them going out into the Gulf, which I don't know if we'll see that at all. But something to watch for, I guess. I did not want to click that. Also, we do not have a tornado warning. The most we have in terms of severe storms, when it comes, well, severe. Water ball dropped on itself. Dropped on itself. Dropped, flopped. Dropped, flopped. I don't know. Also looks like Convective Chronicles uploaded another video, looks like. On the May 31st, 1985 tornado outbreak in Northeast. I do wonder if I can see. I probably can't, but I do wonder if I can see the storm surge stuff on here. I don't think I can, other than the watch of the warnings, which the watches. I mean, the warnings have not popped up on here yet. I don't know why. Also, the Hurricane Hunters are doing another cross through, it looks like. So we'll see what Erin is at when it comes to the winds, which, I mean, Erin's more than likely going to be sitting at Category 2 for a while. It might intensify later today by a little bit once it gets more up towards the north, but at this point, it does seem to be the case that Erin is definitely on a weakening trend now after the longest possible time now. So where is this? Texas. I'm kind of curious. What does, because I also have the IEM monitor on the left side of my screen, trying to see if there's anything here, which I don't think there's really much. trying to see if there's any reports at all. Over from just reports coming in from a IAM monitor. So how fast is Erin moving to? Because Erin's moving northwest at 9 miles per hour. So not completely stalled out, but definitely slow. Go back over to the LWIR. I mean, I can see the convection is just exploding right in here. I'm kind of curious. Let me go back to about 100 frames. Because 100 frames, I think we can see where it was initially at, around like category 3 or 4. I think this is when it was at category 3 here. Yeah, it was when it was at category 3 because the eye started to fall apart. And now it's at category 2. But yeah, that's what it looked like. What time is this that's showing here? Yesterday? Yesterday morning at 10:50 a.m. Which is actually, I would say it's about the exact same time now, but it is not the exact same time now. It is 11:32 a.m. What is going on here? I think the numbers was being cut off of that the text I put at the bottom right for the last basically the last update from the last advisory that came out. There is also a forecast discussion as well. I'm going to take a look at that. Erin's cloud pattern continues to be disrupted by vertical wind shear, with the low-level center situated near the northwestern edge of the main area of deep convection. There are still well-defined convective banding features over the eastern semicircle of the system. Reports from an aircraft, Hurricane Hunter aircraft, indicate that the central pressure has risen compared to earlier this morning. The advisory intensity is set to 90 knots, comparable to Dorvac current intensity number from there at the TAFB, which I think is the hurricanes research area of the research. I want to say research arm, something like that. However, when observations from a hurricane hunter suggest this intensity estimate may be on the high side. Hurricane is moving a little faster to the northwest with an initial motion estimate of 8 knots. Erin is expected to turn northward around the western periphery as subtropical anticyclone centered southeast of Bermuda. Later in the period, the system should turn to the northeast with some increase in forward speed. See. Predicting Erin's intensity is somewhat problematic given the current disorganization of cloud pattern. One would be reluctant to call for strengthening. Dynamic guidance shows increasingly anticyclonic upper level flow. Vertical wind shear. So, I mean, I don't know. I still think there's definitely a chance that this could still try to re-intensify once it gets up towards in here where there's less shear, but it wouldn't be by much. honestly, because then it's hitting a whole nother area of wind shear again. I keep forgetting what the difference is between the red and blue. I mean, you can see a little bit more cloud cover on the red band compared to the blue, I think. Or they're the exact same, kind of. There's a little bit more, you can see a little bit more cloud cover on the red band compared to the blue. Oh, so with weather-wise, when I was just on it earlier, they just updated it just now, and now there's METAR data on it. I mean, I'm not complaining, but like, I did not expect that. Let's go check that out real quick. Alright, so here's weather-wise. So, METAR data can see temperature, dew point, wind direction, wind speed. So, let's see where to turn that on. Ah, there. And you got multiple locations too: North, South America, Asia, Australia, Europe, Oceania. Oceania, I'm pretty sure it pretty much is, well, I guess is around here, but when I think Oceania, I think Australia, so I don't know. It is pretty cold over in Australia, it looks like. Alright, let's turn on North America. You can even see data from even Mexico all the way down here in Trinidad and Barbados. So it's actually, let's take a look across the country when it comes to METAR data. I mean, you can see it is, because this is where your ridge would be right in here. Just hearing a bunch of dings from the IEM. Even go all the way up here too. There's, I guess there's like bases up here and whatnot. Like that's actually a lot warmer than I thought it would be up here. So I wonder if there is. Hold on, let me turn off the METAR data real quick. Wonder what it is. Actually, I can turn on Europe too. And it is I mean, perfect. I mean, it's perfect weather over here in the UK. It looks like, and even in Finland. Although at the dew point, dew point's one thing. It might be a little bit chilly. Actually, now that I think of it. Alright, so there's dew point there. And then we can look at the wind direction. And you can see it's going, a lot of this is coming out of the north when it comes to the winds. And then the wind speed, which, not super strong winds. I do wonder if there's anything close to the hurricane itself. Which I mean, down here, there's ones you got 10 plus mile per hour winds down here. Also, there's the once again, there's the tropical storm warning. This one has expired to expires tomorrow, and then you got one expires in 11 hours. They got coastal flood warnings, high surf advisories as well. You got storm surge warnings, like I was talking about earlier. I'll go back over to Radar Omega real quick. Because I want to look at just keep the loop going here. Keep it on the LWIR because I know there's that convection that's been absolutely blowing up over in the middle here. Which I mean, when you have convection doing that, that's usually one sign that it's starting to intensify again, or is intensifying. Oh, welcome to the stream. It this is well, maybe not the earliest I've done a stream actually. Oh, I get rain from her. I was gonna say, I said I don't. So I feel like you've mentioned where you were at, you're at before, but I just don't remember off the top of my head. But when it comes to the west coast, I mean, I don't know how much this guy shifts more to the west, but Virginia. I mean, because Erin is expected to increase in size, so let me go to Gainesville, Virginia. So Virginia's there. Honestly, I mean, it seems like there's a likelihood that you would, honestly. How much rainfall, to be specific, will have to be seen, but let me actually go over to, where is my foodable weather at? I wonder if, does this one, total trying to line it up. Trying to cross-reference. So it'd be there. Which looking at the well, 1 mile of the GFS, could get rainfall, but it looks like a lot of rainfall, most of the rainfall should stay way off into the coast. 13-mile-per-hour winds. Just a bit windy. So I don't know how. Let me turn on METAR data. Cause if it's hot, then that wind's gonna make things much more pleasant. Hello, Twisted Professional. Hurricane season awake. I'm not joking. Yeah, it is. It is. Well, tropical season is a go. Especially out here, because we have this orange blob, which next 2 days they have a 10%. Next 7 days they have a 60, and then with another tropical wave, which out towards the towards here in Africa, which a 30-30. Which let me pull up the like satellite, I guess. You could see this tropical. I think there's another one on the back of that too with the tropical wave potentially as well. So we could see another tropical wave training behind that tropical wave. So it's literally like it's quite literally a train at this point, honestly. To be honest, right now it's when you just have a tropical wave, it's too early to tell if it indeed will become a hurricane. Which you can rule it being either a tropical depression or storm though, but it just really depends on what it does if it organizes properly to become a tropical depression or storm. Chance the tropical disturbance over the Caribbean might become Ferdinand. With the tropical development chances they have on this, within the next week, they have, it's a high chance that it becomes some, which, if I remember correctly, hold on, let me go to, where's tropical tidbits, hold on. So, on tropical tidbits, they actually already assigned, this tropical wave back here for Invest 99L compared to this one here. But honestly, when it comes to a tropical disturbance, but the one over here by this one here, which is the tropical wave, this one right now I feel like has a pretty low chance of it becoming Ferdinand. But this one back here, where I have a more of a cluster, I think would be having the better chance of becoming Ferdinand. Where is I'm like trying to click Okay, there we go. But yeah, we're this tropical wave, which is a little bit more organized, I think would have a better chance of becoming Ferdinand than all of this over here. So much bigger. Yeah, Erin is a big one. Also, yesterday, let me pull up this graphic if I can get to the right thing, maybe. Where is it at? Okay, there we go. So this is a graphic that the National Service in Chicago made, and you can see preliminary rainfall. You can see the two areas between DeKalb and Lee counties, and then also from portion of the Will all the way up to like Lake County over here, going through Cook, where you have a lot of rainfall. That fell over the past couple of days. Yeah, from yesterday and even to last night too. So is Aaron the only name storm for now? It is indeed. Because I don't think, because from what I last checked, I don't think we really have anything in the Pacific. I mean, just of course a lot of convection down here, but nothing. It looks like in terms of it becoming like a hurricane or anything like that, like tropical depression, storm, or hurricane over in the Pacific. I think a lot of the activity is was it's pretty much just all like ramped up in like June and July, and then it died down. Yeah. Even I was gonna say too, with the Hurricane Center, they were like, yeah, this thing's likely to get bigger too as the days go on there. Tropical Depression 18 formed in the Western Pacific. I want to take a look at everything's everywhere on my desktop here. All right, so look, I want to look at wind probabilities, which you can looking at tropical storm wind probabilities. You can see with the west coast of, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if South Carolina had some, but with the coast and even into North Carolina, with tropical storm force winds, and especially along the coast too. And then there's their probability when it comes to 50-knot winds, and then hurricane winds are going to be more consolidated out into the waters. Wonder, I don't know how many buoys are out here. Will there be lightning? Well, to answer that one for you there is indeed some lightning actually up here. That's there is indeed lightning over in the water. Hopefully the fish stay away from that. That's just a buoy right here, actually. You cannot see anything. Oh, actually, now you can see the waves. Because the buoy is bouncing up, bouncing up and down, so it's like pointing towards the sky and then back down to the water. But yeah, that is some quite the waves. There's actually a couple buoys out here too with cameras on them. So I want to say most likely because of wind shear. What do models think of the next storm that could be forming? Well, when it comes to models, I don't look at when it comes to models, I don't look at uh, deterministic models. I look at ensembles because ensembles a little bit better when it comes to picking up tropical waves and whatnot. Not that you couldn't use deterministic models to like see what kind of trends that could be happening, but let me kind of increase the size of this real quick. All right, so you can see there's you got Erin, which I mean that the GFS is how off is the GFS by 4 there? And, well, the forecast hour for this here is 1 o'clock, which is in an hour. So, but you can see Erin there, then go off to the northeast after getting close to the North Carolina coast there, and then the GFS doesn't show much after that, which actually going out this many hours is not that good of an idea. So we'll go about 192. GFS doesn't show much. And then we go to Euro, which Euro picks up on not much either. But when we go to the ensembles, give me a second. Because I know the site has where you can look at members, but I don't remember where to go to that. There. But Weather Nerds has a little bit better of well, not that this is bad, but Weather Nerds has a little bit better when it comes to looking at more hours more than like 144. So here's the Euro when it comes to the next two tropical waves. So with this tropical wave here, the Euro has it going out towards multiple different areas, but generally has it going out towards the northwest, like Erin. And with this tropical wave right here, it doesn't have it going out that far. And then if we go to GEFS, and it has both the ensembles, both areas going towards basically the same areas, although a couple members going out towards like the Gulf and close to Florida, although those members are very spread out and not very many. So there's not a good amount of agreement right now when it comes to those two tropical waves. Although there is agreement, good agreement though, when it comes to that their effect will be I mean, of course, there's agreement on that there is a tropical wave and there'll be a potential for a tropical at least a tropical depression. Oh, Texas. I mean, that's one. I mean, it's one area like that. The next depending on where the next tropical depression or like storm goes, could be there, but also could be Florida again. But too far out to know. Either way. Also, something I've been seeing people post today as well is with 2007 with because Hurricane Erin was also was a thing back in 2007 with being a tropical storm over land in Oklahoma. So what was this? It's a day 2 update. So between a day 1 and day 2, the outlook hasn't changed much. Both days have marginal risk. There isn't ball. There's actually tropical storm warnings now in North Carolina compared to tropical storm watches. The warnings haven't showed up on here yet for some unknown reason. There is actually. Oh, let me see what it looks like on. Yeah, so there is a tropical storm watch up here, but the rest of all this down here is tropical storm warnings and storm surge warnings. Rainfall. Let me get the graphic up for that real quick. If it decides it wants to actually properly load up. All right. Actually, no. Let me. Oh, there we go. All right. So here is what the National Hurricane Center has out there right now for rainfall, and this is your letter greens are gonna be up to like 1 to 2 inches of rainfall, and I kind of see a lot of your rainfall is staying out towards the sea here. For the most part, although I wouldn't be surprised if depending how much more Erin shifts, if we see a little bit more than like 1 inch to 2 inches of rainfall out here. Let me pull up pivot weather real quick too while I'm at it. All right, there we go. And I'm told actually 48 hours. So I can't zoom in much more than this, but yeah, you can see along the coast here about like some areas getting about inches of about more than like around an inch of rainfall there. Does this want to load? I don't know if it's my well, it shouldn't be my internet because my internet's working perfectly fine. Or it's pivot weather being broken for no apparent reason. It's literally okay. Yeah, it's literally pivot weather being broken for no apparent reason. Am I gonna have to go over to the College Do page? Let me load up College Do page instead. Cause that seems like it's gotta be the better idea for this right now. Cause pivot weather wants to be broken for no reason. Unless I can get pivot weather work again. All right, there we go. I got the pivot weather working again. All right, so looking at the GFS, you can see basically what we're looking at earlier with it being some areas getting around an inch of rainfall, and then here's the icon, which is a little bit different. Here's the NAM, it's almost like the same thing as the icon. If we go over to the Euro, which the Euro, I think deterministic models are in kind of a good agreement right now when it comes to rainfall, where it's almost like a half inch to maybe a little bit more than that, but in some areas when it comes to rainfall. Although models might be underdoing it, just due to how slow Erin is moving. What the convection again? Yeah, that is definitely popped up a little bit more than what it was at earlier. Yeah, we'll go back to this real quick again. Kind of hopping all over the place, but I'll go back to 00Z. Because the Euro's on 00Z. I need pivot weather plus is. Actually, can I go to the? I did not want to click that. When I click that, okay, there we go. So looking at the like upper level wind patterns, so there's Erin, and then you can see you got this ridge out towards the west, and then you have this upper like this low right here, and then looks like in through the week it looks like that could be going down, and then come down towards the Midwest and into the Northeast through the week here. Or is that into next week? I think that's next week, I think. Yeah, that's through next week. But it does look like we have a pattern that could be bringing more storms. Potentially some severe weather, but we'll have to see how that plays out within the next few days or so. And the GFS shows basically the same thing. So the Euro and the GFS has good agreement when it comes to that, it looks like. What about the NAM? Even a NAM has, I mean, some placement is a little bit different between each of the models, but generally the models all have a good agreement between them when it comes to that low. Just I'm sitting. I wonder if tropical Atlantic, I think. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so this is basically the sea surface temperatures, and you can see, because where Erin is at, or was at right in here, or, well, currently is at right in here, see those sea surface temperatures have gone down by, like, 3-4 degrees Celsius. Well, maybe not 3-4, but 3-4 degrees in Fahrenheit. a couple degrees Celsius in Celsius. A couple degrees Celsius in Celsius. So Erin has definitely packed a punch when it comes to cooling down sea surface temperatures. Why do I have like four different like I have like not four, three tabs of the National Hurricane Center stuff. What is going on here? I only need one. So when was the last time? Oh wait, this is actually. I was about to say. I hope the satellite wasn't an hour behind, but because I think it was the other day where Radar Omega was like 2 hours behind on satellite for some reason. Yeah, you can see just how windy it is on that buoy. Which that buoy is, I think, the closest we're gonna be able to get to see what's going on like nearby this thing. Oh. I wonder what the storm reports look like from yesterday. 7-9 wind reports, it looks like. And actually, I could look at the reports on here. Storm reports on here, actually, now that I think of it. A lot of flash flood reports and flood reports out here, it looks like. And there's still a flood advisory in place right now over here in Illinois. Multiple of them, actually. The one is, see what the next advisory is at. Because I think that, yeah, the next advisory, complete advisory, or not complete, intermediate advisory. The intermediate advisory next one is at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then complete is at 5 p.m. Eastern, which is 1 o'clock Central for the complete, but not complete, the intermediate, and then 4 for the complete advisory. There we go. So soon we should be getting the next advisory in, and then we'll see what happens from there. Because, I mean, Erin is having a lot more convection starting to pop up, which is, I mean, once again, a sign that the hurricane is intensifying potentially. How much it intensifies, I wouldn't expect a lot, but also, let me take a look at the lower level water vapor too while we're at it. So I think that's also another factor that is affecting Erin as well. Because things that affect hurricanes, tropical depressions, tropical storms is shear and also dry air. Same. So, alright, there we go. This is at the lower levels, so you can see as Erin's starting to kind of fall apart, you see drier air starting to fall into Erin to get where it's at now, and then look at the mid levels as well, or even the upper levels too. Which upper levels are generally gonna be pretty saturated. So we're take a look at the mid levels. Yeah, even at the mid levels, you can kind of see that going on too with the dry air and yeah, dry air. No, I'm gonna keep this on LWRR because of the convection that's starting to pop up here, and that's something we're gonna have to keep an eye on. Also, speaking of the advisories, I will be able to stay live for the intermediate advisory. I won't be able to stay live for the complete advisory because I have something I am doing later today. So, and then uh, and tomorrow I'll be live again. I don't know what time. Might be afternoon wise. Like the one stream I was gonna do on what day was it? The 17th, so a couple of days ago at this point. I'm gonna be back real quick. Alright, I am back. And I have a couple of things to kind of snack on. I got this, well, I already started eating it, but I got, this jerky stick, and then, uh, this, well, not even Nutri-Grain bar, but cereal bar. And another one as well, chocolate chip one, though. This is also the most I've had all day, too. So far, at least. We got about, we got less than a half hour till the next advisory comes on in. Yeah, how's everyone doing? Well, it is now afternoon, so how's everyone doing this afternoon? Or I guess you could say, how is everyone doing today, I guess, too, but I don't know. Either or, I guess, works. Bumped my microphone. I turn off this cone real quick, and also this, so we can kind of see it a little bit better. Actually, I'll keep on the projected track, but I'll keep, I'll keep on the projected track, but keep off the cone. What is in my throat? Seriously. Did I drink water that fast? I don't know. That's, I just realized with the... Well, with the satellite on... Well, satellite feature on weather-wise, it keeps on the METAR data compared to how it works on Radar Omega. Squeaky chair. Also looks like the Climate Prediction Center put out a new outlook, it looks like, too. And looks like we could be looking at some cooler temperatures finally. Early fall. False fall. The fall of the fall. let me go back to that. I just realized that. I swear, sometimes I like completely forget I'm on a completely different tab, and I'm showing on stream. It's only been 7 minutes. It's only been like 7 minutes so far. I do wonder if we got any cameras along the coast. I don't know what's where though. Fort Lauderdale. Where is that at? I forgot. It's down here. Okay. Ugh. Well, I found one camera over in Fort Lauderdale, so let me get that up, I guess. Where is browser source? Yeah, cam. I did not want to do that. Jesus. There. There we go. Oh, hey, that's loud. Bro. Ads. That's right. How much am I bet that's gonna pop back up again later on? But you can kind of see the waves. I don't know if we have anywhere that has something higher than that, but I mean, you can kind of see the impacts that Erin is having along the coastal areas of Florida. Haven't really, obviously, not really got to see much in terms of, well, impacts yet over in North Carolina. Okay, so now the storm surge warning pops up after like a million years on here. Apparently. Okay. Make up your mind, Raider Omega. And same thing with the tropical storm warnings too. Are not popping up on here now as well. So tropical storm warnings and also storm surge warnings are now there finally on Raider Omega after like 900 years. I don't know what took so long. I don't know why I sound like a movie character. Or like one of those like movie promotional voices. This summer. Alright, looks like there is now advisory 33A apparently. So it looks like they came out 20 minutes earlier with the advisory. Okay. And looks like Erin has dropped a little bit of pressure since the last advisory. Next sustained winds are still the same though, so not a whole lot changed from the last advisory for the most part. And I did not want to peek out my audio at like Mach 200. Jesus. Push. It is moving faster though at northwest at 10 miles per hour now by 1 mile per hour faster. Hurricane force winds up to 80. Tropical storm force winds up to 230 miles. So, yeah, once again, the pressure has changed, not so much when it comes to um the winds. The outlook, that just changed as well. So yeah, that is a big change from what just happened. Jesus. The chances are still the same, looks like, though. So yeah, this is now curving up towards here, looks like, with this area here, which is basically what I was showing earlier with the ensembles. Okay, it's shifted back down here because that's what Radar Omega does when things just updated, but yeah, so it looks like, yeah, this could be, depending on, well, we don't have anything formed out there completely yet, but it does look like we have the case of this could being another situation where we, like Erin, where it passes by, then going out to sea again. But once again, until something forms, we don't completely know yet. And then over here, this hasn't changed a whole lot yet either, so this is still the same too. The only thing that has changed is this. It looks like. Also, the hazards affecting land. Our band's Erin will produce localized area of heavy rainfall across portions of the Turks and Caicos Sea through tonight through Bahamas. Additional rainfall of 1 to 3 inches with storm total amounts to 8 inches are possible. Could lead to flash flooding, urban flooding. When it comes to the heavy rainfall is possible on the Outer Banks of North Carolina Wednesday night into Thursday with potential 1 to 2 inches of local max above 4 inches. So yeah, I mean, it's still a good amount of rainfall that is expected, but and it looks like this is now changed to what is now expected here. Or well, the current now. The But yeah, one as from what I was talking about earlier, wherever that convection was starting to ramp up, and that's now where we're starting to see Hurricane Erin start to drop in pressure and starting to intensify a little bit. Probably by the end of today, depending on how much Erin does end up doing all this, we could see maybe a higher end category 2, maybe a low end cat 3, but we'll have to watch and see type of situation. There's still this tropical storm watch up here, though. Well, not just realized, but I imagine this will eventually be a tropical storm warning once Erin starts making its way more north towards the Carolinas. Wonder what the hydrological outlooks look like. I'm kind of curious. So day 2 and day 3 is kind of where Erin's kind of sits at for when it comes to the next 48 hours where its position. So the Weather Prediction Center has a marginal risk of flash flooding on day 2 and 3 for the coastal areas of North Carolina. which, as mentioned in that advisory, with getting potential to 1 to 2 inches of rainfall and maximum of 4. Which, if there is 4 inches of rainfall, it'll probably be isolated out towards like some of these islands here, just like long. Well, it's not even an island. It's I mean, I guess it is kind of an island, but not like a circular island. Maybe like all this area here would probably get the highest amount of rainfall compared to everywhere else. I'm kind of curious what the storm surge warning says here too. Peak wind forecast: 25 to 35 mile per hour winds with gusts of 50. Potential for wind 35 to 57. Wind thrust remains nearly steady from a previous assessment. Potential to 2 to 4 feet. It's text probably gonna show different. Oh, it's gotta be showing everywhere, probably along the coast here, but there's places that are expected to get 2 to 4, and then you got ones that are expecting 1 to. I think it's like 1 to 3. Let me check again. Yeah, 1 to 3. So, where is it? So here's once again the surge forecast here. So from South Santee River up to Cape Lookout, 1 to 3 feet, and from Cape Lookout to Duck, 2 to 4, and from Duck to Paramore Island, 1 to 3, and you got Neuse and Bay Rivers, Pamlico and Pungo Rivers, 1 to 3 feet as well. And I think if I remember correctly, there's this page here, which gives you a little bit, I don't think it's this one here. I think it's this one? Because this one is a, like, you look at, like, the specific spots of what is in potential, like, the areas that have potential for, like, storm surge. There, I saw some yellow earlier, like, along here and up here, too. They got a lot of blue as well, looks like, which is greater than 1 foot. And then your yellow is greater than 3. See. Oh, that's also another thing too. So here's the wind history. So the yellows could be your tropical. Well, yellow is tropical storm force winds, and then your red is hurricane. Which you can see there are wobbles in there as well of what Erin did. And then here's the, like, more, I would say it's like a modern version of the cone and track and whatnot. So you can see your wind field, your tropical storm wind field. There's your wind probabilities. National Service local products. Threats and impacts. I am kind of curious what, because I haven't looked at these. So this is along the coast here of North Carolina. There's even a bit up here too that they have highlighting yellow. And then outside this, like light gray for winds less than 39. Potential for 39 to 57 along here. Storm surge. Which they have a storm surge potential going all the way up towards like Washington D.C. Flooding rain threat. Localized flooding threat here. and then tornado threat. Tornadoes not expected. Which if there was tornadoes expected, then you would expect it in the northeast quadrant of the hurricane, which that is not the case when it comes to Erin. If we saw Erin take like a more like over into like over here somewhere, we could see tornadoes on northeast quadrant like Florida or something like that. Squeak chair, squeaky chair. I'm gonna turn off that camera because it's not really. I mean, it's pointing towards where the water's at, but I don't think you're not really seeing a whole lot there. Also, there's something going on over here. Looks like I wonder if he's trying to get an eyeball, like forming there, which is likely because there's not a lot of convection in that little area there. Although you expect your hole to be there, your eyeball to be there, so. And apparently the loop is not working properly. Nice. Alright, there we go. I got it working properly now. Yeah, there's quite a bit of lighting with this little quadrant right here. Haven't seen a whole lot of lighting anywhere else, it looks like. What if I just turn on all this? You can even see the past tracking intensity even on here too. You see this whole line here. See where it shifted west and kept shifting west too. And it's still expected to keep shifting west too. Wonder what's well, probably not much on this camera here, on this buoy, but yeah. However, the buoy that's closest here, yeah, there's a lot going on there now. This is still forecast to become. I mean, still forecasted to still be a hurricane going into what's I think the 23rd Saturday. I think right. Yeah, going east northeast since it's gonna be riding the jet stream up that way with the incoming low up here. Trying to see if we got anything at all in terms of like any reports along the coast or anything. I'm kind of curious what the LWIR looks like for the Invest 99L. If I can get to it. MDR. There we go. So this is what the Invest 99L looks like, which, I mean, it's basically a concentrated cluster of storms compared to this one right here, which is expected. This cluster is this here, and then obviously this tropical development chances this one here. I am also curious to see if, well, once it becomes an invest, models start picking up on intensity and so whatnot. So let's see, current storms, Invest 99L. All right, so here's Invest 99L, and some models. I mean, there's quite a few models and models taking us to a tropical storm at least. A couple of those going into Category 1 to Category 2 potentially. So there's a chance we could. I mean, according to intensity guys, we could see there's not a lot of model support for Category 1, but there is for tropical storm. So we could see at least a tropical storm out of this, it looks like. Obviously, we're going to be watching anything environmental when it comes to like dust, wind shear, whatnot. And also watch where that Bermuda high is at, which, I mean, conditions could get hostile for a lot of this within the next week or so. Tropical wave, disorganized showers, thunderstorms, environmental conditions appear marginally favorable for additional development in the next couple of days. Westward about 50 miles per hour towards the end of this week. The system could encounter a less favorable environment, limiting its development chance after that time. Looks like this one has a more conducive environment compared to this one here. Although this one is a little bit, I would say, organized compared to this one here. All right, well, I think that's gonna be. I mean, now 1 o'clock. I think it's gonna be good for this update stream. I think. Take it just a few minutes. Take a couple minutes. Just look at Erin while we're at it, I guess. I mean, Erin is just absolutely just massive at this point. It's other than it decreasing, I mean, the pressure went down a little bit, but it is intensifying a little bit, but we'll have to watch through today to see if it does end up getting an eye. But even then, shouldn't intensify too much more. If it does, then once again, it likely would hit the area where there's not a ton of wind shear. Dry air still could be a concern, however, still though, but yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next stream. Still deciding when I'm going to live next. Tomorrow, I'm thinking tomorrow, but could be Thursday instead. But we'll see what happens. Because, I mean, they have this forecasted from now in to Friday being a Category 2 before weakening down to a Category 1. Which I feel like it definitely could become a Category 1 a lot sooner than that. Because this forecast point is at 7 in the morning on Friday, but once again, it'll be something to watch for. But yeah, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next stream that I do. Not sure when it'll be next, but stay tuned and yeah, stay safe out there.